Okay, so you've downloaded and installed Ugrib. What do you do next? Well, first of all, start up the program. And on startup, you'll be presented with a screen like this. In the middle will be a map of the world. Down the left-hand side is a data selection window. Across the top, you've got various different options. The first thing we need to do is to select the area that we'd like to download data for. So click on the Select Area tool. Then take the cursor to the area that you're interested in. Click on the left-hand mouse button and drag the rectangle to make up the area you'd like to download the data for. I'm just going to select an area across Southern Ireland, the southern parts of the UK, and through the English Channel. In the data selection window, notice how these figures change. They're the boundaries of the area you've selected. So 53.3 north, 46.4 south, 12 degrees west, 5.9 degrees east. Of course, you can also enter these manually. Next, select the number of days and the time intervals you'd like the grid data for. Well, I'm just going to select 1 day, but I'd like it in 3-hour time intervals. I could take 6, 12 or 24-hour time intervals. Next, what resolution would you like? You can have a 1 degree resolution or a half degree resolution. I'm going to take the half a degree resolution. And then you can also decide which parameters you'd like. Would you like the wind, rain, pressure, or a combination of all of them? I'm going to go for all of them. And then you have an estimation as to the file size you'll be downloading. In this case, 21 kilobytes. You can limit the file size, and therefore it means that you restrict the amount you spend on satellite telephones. Select the connection type you've got, well, I'm using broadband, and the download folder where you'd like the file to go. When you're ready, click on Download the Grib file. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice it says Processing your request. It then tells you that grib.us is connected and the file is downloaded. Once downloaded, the data is displayed on the screen. Next, you can decide which time frame you want to view. So go to the top of the screen and it tells you here that you're viewing Monday the 12th of July 2010 at 0600 hours. Well, that's the initial start time of the data. By clicking the down arrow, it tells me all the parameters, the timescales that are available. So let's say I want to see what it's like in 12 hours time. Monday the 12th of July at 1800 hours, which is T plus 12 hours. That's the initial time plus 12 hours. Click, and there you see the data change. Let's select another time period. We'll go to 24 hours. And there we are again. Click, and the data changes. It's showing me isobars, and it's also showing me winds. Now, you can zoom in and view these in more detail. So let's click on Zoom, and then highlight the area I want to zoom into. And there we go. We've zoomed into the area through the English Channel. This just makes it easier to view the winds and changes in wind too. Then zoom out and zoom out again, and it returns us back to the original chart. You can also create an animation. So again, from the buttons at the top, click on Create Animation. You'll then notice the bottom of the screen processing that animation. The screen changes and the animation is made available to you. It does take a few seconds to do this, but once it is there, it's a worthwhile exercise. Click on play, and there we have the animation. You can also slow it down. Go to speed of the animation and just click on the minus. This makes the animation slower. It's just easier to view in this way. So you can see that Ugrib is easy to use. The best way to get used to it is simply to use the program itself and get yourself familiar with the various controls. One thing that I haven't shown you is in the data viewer window. Click on the data viewer, and here you have the options to turn on and off the data that you are viewing. You can also make the wind barbs bigger or smaller. Click on the scaling tool and you can expand or decrease the wind barbs. You can also increase or decrease the spacing between them. Very useful if you have high resolution data over a wide area. Another handy tool is the meteogram. Click on Show Meteogram. You then simply drag the meteogram to where you want it to be. So let's put our cursor here. Click, and it shows you what the weather is like in that area over the particular period of time you're interested in. You can then drag the meteogram to the area you're interested in, put the point over the where you're interested in, release it, and it will show you the data for that point. There we go. So on this meteogram, the red line is wind direction, the blue line is wind speed, and the yellow line is air pressure. Now remember that this is purely based on model output, so it isn't a statement of actual conditions, but it can be very useful to see changes in wind speed and changes in pressure. I hope that's been a useful introduction to you to Ugrib.